Good morning, students. Today we will study about the features of democracy. In previous video we have studied about the simple definition of democracy, and what definition we have obtained was democracy is a form of government in which the rulers are elected by the people. Now if we talk about this definition can raise some questions in our mind. First question is, rulers are elected by the peoples. So who are the rulers? Or who should be the person to whom we elect for the government, to run the government? So, and the other question, like, is there any decision which can be taken by the non-elected officials, and what are these decisions? This all should we see. Then the next question which comes in our mind is, what kind of election constitute a democratic election? There are a lot types of election. To whom we should consider as a democratic election? That is another question that comes in our mind. Then another question, that is, the people who are the people who can elect the rulers or get elected as rulers, and the what kind of a form of government is democracy. So we will talk about all these in detail, and we will find out the answer. For that we talk about the features of democracy. The first feature is major decision by elected leaders. All the major decisions must be taken by the elected leaders, not by the non-elected leaders, and the daily routine decision can be taken by the non-elected leaders. Now for this we will talk about our neighboring country Pakistan. In Pakistan, 1999, General Pervez Musharraf led a military coup and overthrew a democratically elected government and became the chief executive of the country. In 2002, he changed his designation as president of the country and became the president. And to change his post or his resignation, what he done? He taken a referendum in the country, and by this referendum he given himself a 5-year extension in the term. This referendum was considered as a fraud and based on malpractices by Pakistani media, by Human Rights Commission, by the other organization who work for the democracy. Everyone says that, and they came to know by the condition what they have seen there, that it is a fraud. It was a fraud. In 2002, after winning the referendum, he issued a legal framework order. By that order, he amended the Constitution of Pakistan. By this order, the President can dismiss the national and provincial assemblies. The work of civilian cabinet is supervised by a National Security Council, which is dominated by military officers. So the government will work under the military officers, and the final decision will be taken by military officers. They were having a government which is elected by the people, the prime minister and the cabinet was working. They were the elected leaders, but the final authority was under the Security Council, which is dominated by the military officers. So in Pakistan they have a government which is elected by the people, but that government cannot be called a democratic government. Why? Because the final decision making was rest in the hands of General Pervez Musharraf, who was not a democratically elected leader. He was an army official who led a coup and became the president. So here we draw a conclusion, that is that in a democracy the final decision making power must rest with those elected by the people. If we have this condition, then only we can say it a people's rule, otherwise it will not be called a people's rule. So the first feature of democracy is final decision making power must be rest with those elected by the people. Free and fair electoral competition. For this we take an example of another neighboring country, that is China. In China, from last 70 years, the elections are regularly held. After every 5 years, people elect their representative for country's parliament. The National People's Congress. The National People's Congress has the power to appoint the president of the country, and it has nearly 3,000 elected members from all over China. There are some members which are elected by the army before contesting election. Now, from here it looks a government which is elected by the people, because people vote, they choose about 3,000 members of National People's Congress, and that National People Congress appoints president. So it looks that is an democratic government. Now we go inside and we see the condition again. Before contesting election, a candidate needs the approval of Chinese Communist Party. It means only the member of Chinese Communist Party can take part in the elections, or there are 8 smaller parties which are allied to Chinese Communist Party. The members of these parties are allowed to contest in the election. It means there may be 10, 20 or more candidates, but they all belongs to the same party. So the government is always formed by the Communist Party of China. Since the independence in 1930, now this was an example of China. In the China, the government always formed only by the Communist Party, not by any other party. Now we talk about Mexico. Since its independence, Mexico holds election after every 6 years to elect its president. The country has never been under a military or a dictator rule, but until 2000, every election won by a party called PRI, Institutional Revolutionary Party. So, and till 2000, opposition parties did contest elections but never managed to win. The PRI was known to use many dirty tricks to win elections. What they were doing to win election? All those who were employed in government offices had to attend its party meetings, Teachers of government schools used to force parents to vote for the PRI. Media largely ignored the activities of opposition political parties except to criticize them. It means media also criticize the opposition party, the teachers, the doctors, the government workers, all work for the PRI. Sometimes the polling booths were shifted from one place to another in last minute, which made it difficult for the people to cast their vote. And for all this, the PRI spent a lot of money. So these were the two examples, the example of China and the example of Mexico. Can this type of government be called a democratic government? No. Why? Because they are the rulers elected by the people, but they all belongs to the same party. It means they do not listen to the opposition. And if a government do not listen to the opposition, and if all the members contesting in the election belongs to the same party, or people are not allowed to contest in the election, or the ruling party uses dirty tricks to win the election, in this condition the election cannot be called a democratic election, because election should be free and fair. So here we draw a conclusion as the second feature of democracy, that is, a democracy must be based on a free and fair election where those currently in power have a fair chance of losing. Those who are in power should have a fair chance of losing election. That type of election would be called a democratic election. So this is the second feature of the democracy. Now the next feature we will study in next video. Thank you.